bonus tip for you all. So I'm going to share this story. This might be the longest video and I apologize, but I want to share this with you because if you see yourself in it, then I want you to take it, run with it, make it your own, okay? But I remember um I was doing the open houses and I was finding that I didn't have an icebreaker. Like I couldn't get people to open, I couldn't get people to share. And so I started to think because, what else do I do but overthink everything? I started to think about what can I do? And at the same time, okay, at the same time, remember my kids were 2 and 1 when I started. At the same time, I felt like I was three different people. I was real estate agent, I was mom, and I was barely Melissa. Okay, I was dying. Inside, I was like, I don't know who the hell I am, what I'm doing. I'm just trying this stuff. And I felt so divided. And I was like, enough is enough. And around that time, it was about to be fall. So I think it was like September-ish time. And something happens to me when fall comes around. I get into this baking frenzy. And so I love to bake. I love to bring, my food and so everybody can eat and enjoy it because if I bake all that food and I eat it all, I'm going to gain like 50 pounds, right? I love to bake, but I love to treat and feed other people. Like it makes me happy to do that. And so I noticed my excitement in that. And I noticed that I loved really doing open houses. How could I be one? How could I be Melissa and the real estate agent and a mom and one whole person? Okay. And here was my solution, which worked really well. And I know it sounds crazy, and this might not be you, but maybe use my story as inspiration of how can you set yourself apart by doing something different than what everybody else is doing. So here it goes. I loved open houses. I knew that. I love to bake. I knew that. I was trying to find ways of how can I get people to open up and talk to me. Okay. I noticed that people love talking about food. And I realized when as I was trying to do research with newsletters and what can I say other than real estate, I fell upon a rabbit hole of national days, national weeks, national months, a whole freaking tunnel I fell into. And I noticed that a lot of these national days were around food. And so I would make something that that weekend there was national something around. Okay. I had a sign for people to say, grab a treat. Did you know it's national blah, blah, blah day? Please sign in, whatever. I had my whole shebang kind of set up. Right. And I would bake everything the night before and I would individually wrap everything. This was way, 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 way before COVID, but I would wrap everything and then I would print out postcards, eight, not 8.5 by 11, half of that postcards with the recipe, where I got it from, unless it was mine, and then my real estate information in the back. That was a wonderful icebreaker when people came in, okay? Because now when they walked in, I felt like people weren't, they went from, oh, this is the salesy girl. She's going to try to sell me this house to, well, what's that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, did you not know? I'm a outgoing person, Looney Toonie anyway, so it worked for my personality. But I would talk about the food, and I'm like, by the way, what brought you guys in today? Aren't these treats yummy? I'm like, guess what? Next week is National Whatever Day, and it started over time. It started to turn into that people would be like, where are you going to be, and what are you making? What house are you going to be at? What are you making? And so, I got more eyeballs on the property because people were coming out to feast. Okay. And they weren't crazy things. Like I would make banana bread or something and slice it up and individually wrap it, and then it didn't end there. Whatever treats I had left over after the open house, I would walk that neighborhood until my treats were gone. I learned so much from the neighbors about the neighborhood, the people that lived in it, all types of stuff. And people loved the treats and they kept the card. It was great. It was so good. And I started to get deals from open houses because a lot of the little things, a lot of the little things that I share with you in this series here, but I made it personal. I made it relational. Okay. I asked and practiced various questions on what questions did people open up to? What questions did they not open up to? Um, all the things. Okay. It takes such great intention and thought process to really execute at a high level because you care. We are compensated for that amount of care. Okay. So take some time, think about it. Like I said before, if you need any help or guidance in this area, I would love to be a resource. No pressure, no strings attached. Just want to help you guys out, in your business and help you achieve the success that you saw when you got your license that you may have lost along the way. Okay? Deal? We're gonna shake on it. Deal.